106 Live Radio. Atlanta's music leader. This is The Morning Rise. Now broadcasting weekdays from 6 to 10 on 106 R&B and Throwbacks.
Good morning and welcome to The Morning Rise with Variable Y on 106liveradio.com, where excitement meets diversity 24/7. So, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you all who are joining us here. If you have watched the show, if you've been listening to the show already, thank you so much for that. If you are just now tuning in to watch the show, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm about to get it put on the big screen just so I can, see what I look like, see how awkward I look, see if I'm picking my nose or anything like that. Because hey, these are things you don't worry about when you're not on TV, right? When you're not live, you don't worry about, hey, is there a booger in my nose? Let me get the booger out my nose. You don't worry about that because you're not. No one sees you. You're just here by yourself, just chilling. But when you are live on TV, these are things you have to worry about. So I am here to make sure that I want to go on here and make sure that none of that is happening. Make sure that we are looking good, like we feel. We feel good and making sure we're looking good. So how are you guys doing today? TV audience, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, my radio audience, thank you guys for sticking with us through the TV transition. So let us, there it is. So we are going to go pull it up so that we can also see how we look. And sorry about that. All right, so now we see how we look. So we are all ready. Welcome to everyone out there in TV land. So today's topic, of course, it is Friday. So of course on Friday we talk sports. So we started off by talking about, the Atlanta Hawks, how well they're playing now. Ever since we got on these airwaves and we went off on the Hawks. The Hawks have been back to their winning ways, and we couldn't be more excited about that. So shout out to the Hawks. We also talked a little bit about the proposed trade, because there was a trade on the table for us, the Hawks, to get Ben Simmons, right? It would have been Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris coming from the Philadelphia 76ers here to Atlanta. What we would have traded is John Collins, Bogdanovich, and Danilo Gallinari. I personally do not like that trade at all for us. Now, I get the fact that Ben Simmons does, give us another wing defender. So I can appreciate that. And a guy who is an all-world talent, and a guy who is somebody, hey, if we don't necessarily need him to do it, then he can go out there and get us like 20 points, and it's kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say easy, but it doesn't really come difficult for him to just go out there and just drop 20, right? That's not difficult for him. He's that athletic, he's that big, he's that physical, right? Now, of course, the bad part about that is there may be times where he's asked to shoot. And it's not that he can't shoot, it's that he don't want to shoot. It's that he's afraid to shoot. Now that is scary, if you ask me. So that's one part of it. Now, the other part, which I'm like, that I don't mind, Tobias Harris. I think Tobias Harris would be a great pickup for the Hawks. Tobias Harris is a guy who can go out there, doesn't mind shooting. Is a guy who has shown that he's not just a spot-up shooter, but if he needs to, he can get you some buckets. So that would be great. That would be another guy who can go out there and get us some buckets if we need him to, and who's a spot-up three-point shooter, and who's somebody who's long enough who can go out there and play competent enough defense so that, when we're having defensive lows, we got somebody out there who can help us. So that part is fine, I guess, for Philly. But coming over here, what we have to give up, we got to give up John Collins again. I know how you guys feel, but I feel like John Collins is starting to ascend. And then we got to give up our two guys off the bench who really have been, and I know Bogey just came back, but Gallinari has been a catalyst off the bench. So that's taking away our whole that's depleting, not taking away our whole bench, but that's depleting our bench. Our bench is not strong to begin with. We can't afford to lose other good guys who are coming off the bench and who are really contributing to this team. We can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. So for that, I'm happy that we said, no, I'll pass on the deal. But I can appreciate them going out and trying to make deals. But I'm glad that they were able to say, no, we won't do that for right now. I don't know what other deals they may be able to get. I don't know what other deals they may be working on, but at least that one didn't go through. And like I said earlier in the 7 o'clock hour. So what's up with this cat, Kevin Knox? Are they not trying to get rid of him? Because they're not playing him. I don't I think he's been a healthy scratch in the last few games. So, I mean, can we just get him to bounce off of him and bounce him over to somebody else? And can we get something for him? Somebody who will actually play? Like, nothing against the kid, but yeah, that wasn't necessarily a great move if you ask me. So we started off talking about that, and then of course we talked about these head coaching hires that have been made already in the NFL. Now we started off talking about Nathaniel Hackett, and I was saying that many guys have gone on to get jobs because they were the main coordinators, offense coordinators for great quarterbacks. Does anybody remember a dude named Adam Gase? Oh yeah, you remember him? You know how he got his start? He was the head coach. He was the offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning. Offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning? Is there a more useless job in the NFL? No. Anybody remember a guy named Josh McDaniels? Yeah. He got his job because he was the offensive coordinator for Tom Brady. Okay. All right. So now we're seeing, Nathaniel Hackett get this job because he's the offensive coordinator for he's the offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers. And then they're saying no, he kind of cut his teeth by being a great offensive coordinator when Blake Bortles had his one good season. Okay. That's something, I guess. I mean, I guess. I'm not sitting here telling you that means that he's going to be a great coordinator or a great head coach. But okay, if that's what you want to give me, that's fine. I'll take it. I mean, you're pretty much telling me that, whatever. Whatever. In the yeah, okay. I can't say all the things I want to say, so I'm not going to say all of that right now. So, and then they got another guy again, who I ain't never heard of, Matt Eberflus, who was the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. When with your season on the line, when your defense gives up all those points to the Jacksonville Jaguars, so many points that it causes me to lose my fantasy football championship, then we have a problem here. And not only should you not get this job, you shouldn't be considered for a job, period. You should have got fired from your last job. Everybody should be asking you, hey, what's up? How you get this here gig? Because it don't make no sense. I need to know how you get this here gig. I'll wait. Whose daddy you know? Like, I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they do that at? I'm being honest. Because, my guy, how in the world does something like that happen? Man, I'm going to get me a sound for that Life Jennings must be nice. Because it must be nice, boy. Woo-wee, it must be nice. Dang, man. Dudes be coming up here getting boat raced by the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that is picking number 1 overall in the league. Team that had nothing to play for. You had everything to play for. Your playoff life is on the line, and you can't get your guys up to the task of stopping the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars. And then not only do you not get fired, but you get rewarded with a better job. It's crazy. I mean, it's almost to the point where they're like, we don't care. We don't care what you think. We're going to do what we want to do anyway. I keep telling myself I'm not going to get worked up again because, I don't want to get my pressure too high up. So I keep telling myself I'm not going to do it. It's not what you know. It's who you know. You got that right. You got that right. You got that right. Shout out to my brother. It's going to come up on the screen in a second. I just wanted to read it. I know I normally do that. I should have waited for it to come up, but you're right. It's not what you know. It's who you know. And yeah, failing up. Exactly. That's what some people do. Some people only get one shot. Other people fail up. Vance Joseph and all these other guys, right? All these other guys, like and my man Brian Flores. All they do is just win, turn around cultures. Make teams better, and then they get fired for these other guys. Again, not going to get my pressure up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music because this music makes me happy. So I'm going to play some music that's going to make me happy. It's going to take us back to when we didn't have to worry about this stuff. And then we're going to come back and we are going to get back into our sports right here on The Morning Rise with the Variable Y on 106liveradio.com.
Yeah. Never have ever remembered in one crew been so diverse. Trying to outdo the last verse that I burst, that is my curse. Your knight in rhyming armor, sentimentalist slay all grand dragons. Grab the sharpest number 2, then I'm stabbing. Somebody let me hold a number 2 pencil cause they test. Somebody let me hold a number 2 pencil cause they test. I fly through the night. Yeah, mixing power with some Sprite. Lyrics we put inside ya. Listen to these ATL riders. Keep your head straight. The streets full of snakes. Slithering, making deals, delivering. That we got you shivering. Paranoia. 1,500 go to the lawyer. After paying his rent, dollars and cents. Still in big bulls, put up a fence. We're moving on till the crew is on.
Okay, here you go. They call me Sugar Baby Shout Low. I'm 1-4. They might say G-double-O-D and I eat it.
Don't change to your brain, cause stolen they gon' bang. Plus drain your lights and phones. Then I'm roll you down. Get it touched with your clothes.
Home. Anybody disrespect my zone, we gon' get it on till we get it gone. In your mind, get it right. You get it wrong, or you gon' get shot out.
That's why you work the right thing. Copy it's good. Spin, get rid of figure. Look at the cheese that I showed them out there. Chopper roll all over your feet. Back in the window, storm. Think of a spot. We keep them all dead. Top of the line. Five star. I take your head. I be so like to the lid. I was
been here, this year. Get one of the 5 to lay it down round here. Gold and the platinum all over the wall. If you ever check the books, yo, it had big falls. Laid it down hard more than one time. Yo, I hit it, get it gone, now I'm out of mine. Went from hug, got the 30s to the 100s, folks. People still talking about the last rhyme I wrote. 87 was the year that I first stepped in. I'm hollering every E, doing time in the pen. I say,
what is it, boys? I crept in, stepping all over your best friend. No way in, the lyrical lessons, and smoked out sessions. The young and the rest, some of the best in the dirty South and Midwest. Hemisphere, they wanna be this here. The plan to be OI, go run these verses to make you see this here. Tried to dock and I put my plug up in they good socket. No, the D to the F is gone forever. Rock it, lock it down.
The T-Death for Timo, who's known as the teacher. Southwest young brother bringing the pain through your speaker. It's like a disease to fiend for the G's you need. I'm up in ease and feeling exhibited chilling while dealing with the devil himself. Increase my wealthy, more than 10 times the average minimum wage. Kind of struggling, these days are changing rapidly. Steady tax me, creatively maximized with proper investment. Can't be hesitant with them dead president. Or you lose, or you can lose your cash. What? No, two. Whatever time they're behind the screen, I know a whole lot of brothers in the rap game, but most of them are in it for the shiny things. They want to snatch all 10, maybe stack about 4. They want to live in the house, but don't want no grass to grow. See, what you need to do is learn the tricks of the trade. Go to work, put it down, and then get paid. It's only 2 of us gonna get caught for making a sale. I'm one, and if you the other, bro, I can't tell. Ain't nobody that can come in and get in this zone. Just trying to kill 4 birds with about 15 stones. The C stands for Cool Breeze, who's known as the champ. Freddie Calhoun, the coolest cutter at camp. Hey, my ones and my twos got your whole town shook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. The C stands for Cool Breeze, who's known as the champ. Freddie Calhoun, the coolest cutter at camp. Hey, my ones and my twos got your whole town shook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. The C stands for Cool Breeze, who's known as the champ. Freddie Calhoun, the coolest cutter at camp. Hey, my ones and my twos got your whole town shook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. The C stands for Cool Breeze, who's known as the champ. Freddie Calhoun, the coolest cutter at camp. Hey, my ones and my twos got your whole town shook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook.
Hey, this is Miss Janine, always live in Atlanta's Therapist. And when I'm not on with the Variable Y, I'm listening to The Morning Rise from 6 to 10 on 106liveradio.com.
Yes, she is. And we are back right here on The Morning Rise with the Variable Y, 106liveradio.com. No story behind that song with Miss Janine, so I'll let her live on that one. But again, don't forget, ask her what she was doing in the 99 and the 2000 when Back the Thing Up came on. So, so we are back and we are talking about these head coaching hires that have been made. There have only been 2 made so far. Hopefully, we're waiting on some guys to finish up their season so they can get a call. Hopefully, Eric Bieniemy can get a shot at one of these jobs. Bieniemy has been the hot coordinator for the past 4 years. Now, I get what some of you are going to say. Well, he's got Patrick Mahomes. That's true. That's true. But he's been there the entire time. Mahomes has been there, right? Now, we're not going to sit up here and say Mahomes is a guy who needs help. We're not going to sit up here and say Mahomes is a guy who wouldn't be great without Eric Bieniemy. No, we're not going to say that. And, of course, Andy Reid is still Andy Reid. Andy Reid is still a genius when it comes to football, right? But I think it would be rather silly of us not to admit the fact that, hey, yeah, he's been there the entire time. But remember this year when Patrick Mahomes kind of was going through some things, kind of trying to work some things out, kind of couldn't just talent his way out of everything. People had gotten film on him. And he couldn't just, make left-handed passes and do all kinds of crazy stuff because people, again, they got film on him. They kind of got the blueprint on him, so to speak. Remember that? And I get that he may have gone back into the lab and figured some stuff out. But you know who else went back into the lab? Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. What's the difference between a good coach and a great coach? A great coach will get into the lab and figure out what's not working and try their best to make it work. So you mean to tell me that Eric Bieniemy is not in the lab? You mean to tell me he's not in there working on his craft? You mean to tell me... Sorry, that was embarrassing. I was about to sneeze, but I had to, block myself. You mean to tell me that Bieniemy is not in there every single day working on trying to get him and Mahomes better? You really think that? I know some of you probably do think that, but I want to tell you right now, you're a moron if you do think that. I want to tell you right now that you can look at some of the ways that they try to get guys open and say, okay, Bieniemy, you picked up some things from Andy Reid. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he did it on his own. I'm not saying Andy Reid is not a part of this, because he is, because Andy Reid might be an offensive football genius. And we can look at his coaching tree. The one thing John Madden doesn't have, by the way, is a competent coaching tree. We can look at Andy Reid's coaching tree and tell, no, okay. Yep, okay. Nope, my bad. You're right. You are pretty good. And I guess that goes back to Mike Holmgren, so we can give him some credit if we want to. But We don't really have to. But we can look at the guys that have coached under him and see where they are right now to say, yes, this guy knows football. He knows exactly what he's doing. And guess what? That dude right there, his right-hand man, his offensive coordinator, the guy he lets calls the plays, the guy he lets do the coaching in the timeouts, is Eric Bieniemy. Is right there. Is doing everything he can to get his team to a third Super Bowl and a second championship. They've already made their fourth championship game. What else do you want? What more can I say to you? You heard it all. It's stuff like this that really kind of makes me mad. And, you know, I try not to just simplify it to, oh, okay, we know why. But I mean, if the shoe fits, again, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, y'all know what it is. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it's a mongoose. So anyway, all right, y'all. We're gonna go to break because again, if I don't go to break, if I don't take these breaks, then I'm really going to have a conniption in here. So as opposed to me doing that, we are going to go to break. So let's go to break. And then we are going to come back. We got some music, and then we got my main man, Will, who's going to be on the line with us. And I'm going to let him spit the fire that he spits every single week. And we are going to go back and forth and do what we always do, and that's give you guys the real right here on the Morning Rise with Variable Y on 106liveradio.com.
Broadcasting live from Atlanta while serving the entire globe. It's the fastest growing radio on the web. It's 106liveradio.com.
They say singing can help you remember things, so here's some tips for parents out there during these tough times. Number 1, make sure your kids wash their hands for 20 seconds after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside. 2, virtual play dates. Social and physical distancing can help save lives. 3, tell them they're safe and show your love and pride. Yes, we'll get through this together. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
This is a time to raise awareness about birth defects and highlight efforts to improve the health of people living with these conditions across their lifespan. Join the nationwide effort to raise awareness of birth defects and their impact on individuals, parents, and families. Birth defects are structural changes present at birth that can affect almost any part of the body. Advancements in medicine and surgery have led to better survival, and thankfully, more children born with birth defects grow up to lead full lives. Awareness of birth defects across the lifespan helps provide individuals, parents, and families affected by birth defects the information they need to seek proper care. It also gives healthcare professionals the evidence they need to deliver the best care for patients across all stages of life, before and during pregnancy and in infancy, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. For more information, please visit cdc.org.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey friends, not only am I going green, I am giving away green on the C. Harper Show. Yes, ma'am or sir, you can win $1,000. No gimmicks. We just want you to have a great spa day. Friends of the C. Harper Show, Mary Boyd of Breaking Chains Enterprises and James Edmonds of Archie Consulting want you to relax and take care of your emotional wellness. So the rules are simple. 1, promise to treat yourself to an emotional wellness spa day. 2, call the C. Harper Show at 404-464-8785. 3, Be the 16th caller on 106 Live Radio on February 11, 2022, between 5 and 6 p.m. Number 4, submit and post pictures of your emotional wellness spa day and send them in to C. Harper at PR@106liveradio.com.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking of changing your marketing strategy? 106 Live Radio is the solution you need to promote your goods and services. We are offering special advertising rates on our fast-growing radio network. We can also help you create an audio commercial or a website banner that fits your business needs. It is just that simple. Visit our website at 106liveradio.com for details.
Bringing you the best shows and music 24/7 on your favorite radio. It's 106liveradio.com.
Hey, how you doing, love mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. Got a sexy body and your ass looks soft. Mind if I touch it and see if it's soft? No, I'm just playing. Let's just say I can. And I'm known to be a real nasty man. And they say a closed mouth don't get fed, so I don't mind asking for you heard what I said. We need to make our way to the bed. You can start using your head. You like to have your legs open out in the bar. Do it up, slapping, cut the sense, get rough. Switch position, ready to get down to business. So you can see what you've been missing. You might have some, but you never had none like this. Just wait till you see my. Wait till you see my. Oh. Wait till you see my. Wait till you see my. Oh. I'ma beat that dog. Wait till you see my. Oh. Wait till you see my. Wait till you see my. Oh. I'ma beat that dog. Like bam, 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 you fine, but I ain't gon' sweat you. See, I wanna tell me what's up. Walk around the club with your thumb in your mouth. Put my dick in, take your thumb out. That might be a little kosher to deal with. Wet back, grown, cause they don't spill. I keep wide when I'm putting in work.
Yeah.
Get you about to get your feelings hurt. Cause I beat that cat with a dog and knock the walls off a
I was just about to call you, folks.
Like, yeah, something like that, but it depends on the swing of the baseball bat. Dip it up on the counter, make the place fall back. On the blue sheet,
dude, like I just think it, God, like ah.
Wait till you see my. Oh. Wait till you see my. Wait till you see my. Oh. I'ma beat that dog. Wait till you see my. Oh.
Okay, that's if that's what you want to do, that's what we'll do. If that's what you want, but you know, once I get started, I'm not gonna stop. All right, if that's what you want. Oh, hopefully I won't get in trouble. All right, we're about to come back.
We're taking you all the way back. With the greatest old school hits on 106liveradio.com.
Let's do this.
Now, that one you don't have to ask Miss Janine about at all, because that one is more my speed than hers. That is my song. I love that song. One of these days, I'll let you guys know why I love that song so much. Although I feel like it's pretty obvious, but hey, some of you may want to hear a story, so I'll give you a story. But you are back live on YouTube and Facebook, and live on the radio, live around the world if you download the app and bridge the gap. On 106liveradio.com on the Morning Rise with the Variable Y. We have got, of course, our guest, our main guy, my main man, the one, the only. We got Will in the building on this Friday to do what he does best and get on here with your boy and talk sports. Will, how are you today, my friend?
Hey, brother. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready to get into this conversation, man. I've been hearing you this morning, and you 100% right, man. So, hey, man, let's turn up. Let's get the people the real. What's really going on out here in these NFL, NBA streets, man.
All right, let's do it. Like you said, let's give these people the real. Let's give them what is really going on out in these NFL and NBA streets. And you know what? I hate to do this because I feel like we devote so much time to it. And that's why it's become almost the monopoly that it is. That's why they can do whatever they want. That's why they give us dirt and call it ice cream and we just accept it. But that being said, we got to start off with these NFL streets, man. We got to start off with these coaching hires because there have been 2 coaching hires, right? There have been 2 coaching hires.
Mm-hmm.
Some dude named Nathaniel Hackett, who was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay. So basically, he had no job because he was the offense coordinator for Aaron Rodgers. So he had no job. And then some dude named Matt Eberflus, who was a defensive coordinator in I keep wanting to say in Indianapolis. Like, I should have said the Colts. I kept trying to figure out the city like Philadelphia. No. Philadelphia. No. Philadelphia. Well, I don't know why. But anyway, offense coordinator for the Colts, right? Now, we'll start with Eberflus, right? Don't get me wrong. There was a time when he had a great defense, and the defense was one of the calling cards of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But when with your playoff life on the line, you don't just lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, you get waxed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. R. Kelly is somewhere right now saying, you remind me of my cars. You look just like my cars because you got waxed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who are picking number 1 overall in this year's draft. So they are, so by definition, they are the worst team in the league. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who had almost nothing going for them this year. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who fired their coach mid-season because they made a bad coaching hire because their front office is absolute garbage. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who made Trevor Lawrence, this guy we thought was an otherworldly quarterback, this guy we thought was a can't-miss prospect, who made him look human. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who are just a perpetual, habitual dumpster fire. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who had nothing to play for. Absolutely nothing to play for. You had your playoff life on the line, and you couldn't get your defense to stop them just a little bit. You couldn't get your defense to keep them out of the end zone once. You can get your defense to have them get them out of field goal range so they can miss a field goal, which more important than anything would have given me my fantasy football championship. Eberflus, you are my arch nemesis from here on out. I will cheer loudly and proudly against you and the Chicago Bears. Well, I was already going to do that because, number one, you don't deserve this job, and you got it anyway, so I'm going to cheer against you just because that's what I do. I'm petty like that. It's time for us to start cheering against all these bad head coaching hires because I'm getting tired of just acting like this is okay. But, so, we got Eberflus and we got Nathaniel Hackett. I said my piece, brother. Have at it.
All right, brother. Let's see if I can kick in where you left off at. So, last week, man, we had to kind of begin this conversation where I said, hey, man, it's a good old boy league. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's what I say. It's how this league has always worked. Nepotism at its best. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. He's my guy. He's on another staff. But when I move, I'm going to go get him. and vice versa. When he moves, he'll come get me. That's how it is amongst, be real, the white coaches. Because that's how they've been doing business for a long time. These guys been on staff together. If you go back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they were on staff like at Toledo. You know what I'm saying? And they always had a dream like, yo, we get the NFL, I'm taking you with me, I'm taking you with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally like coaches like the rap games. You know what I'm saying? One make it, we all make it. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this guy here is going to go and get this guy. So I'm not surprised at how things are working. Eberflus, you hit the nail on the head. Like, his team, his defense, all they had to do was get past the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars, and that team would have been in the playoffs. That's all you had to do. Last game of the season, beat the worst team in the league. You could not do that. Yes, Carson Wentz was a dumpster fire in that game, but you played good defense. I've seen, like we saw last week, we've seen defenses carry a bad quarterback. San Francisco 49ers won a game in Lambeau against Aaron Rodgers because their defense special teams held together with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo!
Who might get to his second Super Bowl.
And the funny thing about this is, that whole conversation around him is like he's getting good. No, it's his team around him. Like Deebo Samuel is putting in work every day. Deebo Samuel is literally out there limping, still getting 20 yards and throwing down 8 conversions and 1 minute to go, all by himself. Like literally, Trent Williams, best left tackle of the game. He has so many good players around him. It almost masks how average he is. I'm not gonna say Jimmy Brown was bad. He's not bad. I've seen bad quarterbacks. But what he is, though, is he's mediocre. He's extremely average. And a lot of times in this part of the NFL season, you don't see mediocre. You don't see average. What you see is what we saw last Sunday night with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. You see elite quarterbacking. I told y'all last week that only 2 things win a Super Bowl: elite quarterbacking or an elite defense. So that's it. So right now, we have 3 guys playing quarterback at elite level. Burrow, Mahomes, Stafford, and Garoppolo has a pretty good defense. So right now, looking like I'm 4 for 4. So that's what it is. And so, as far as this conversation goes back, man, Nathan Hackett and the Eberfluses, like your brother said, they fell up. They've been failing up for years. That's how it works. And black coaches don't get the opportunity to fail up. Last to get fired, last to get hired, first to get fired. I've seen maybe the last 5 or 10 years, I don't know how many black coaches are one and done. One and done never happened before. Never happened before. But all of a sudden, your boy Ben Johnson, Denver, one and done. Where's your boy down there in Arizona? I forgot, was it Wilkes? When
Yes.
they had off the record Josh Rosen in that 1 year?
Yes.
That man got 1 year at Josh Rosen, and they got rid of him
Yeah.
for Cliff Kingsbury, who did nothing on the college level, and you were talking about failing up. Supposed to be like 6-5 at Texas Tech, where Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback in college.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he gets a job in the NFL, and he gets Kyler Murray as his quarterback, unlike Steve Wilkes, who had Josh Rosen. So it's like, so you want someone to make, you know what I'm saying, chicken stew out of chicken-ish, but not give me anything to work with. And then you fire him for that? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I told y'all, no matter how many interviews you see these guys get over the next 2-3 weeks, watch who is getting hired. Watch who is getting hired. So now there's, I guess, been 9 job openings with Sean Payton leaving the state. Sean Payton leaving the state. So now there are 9 job openings. And look who's getting hired. There's nobody that looks the part of, some minority. It's all the same. It's a white male. It's a white male. Like, it's not someone of Latino descent. It's not someone of African American descent. Not someone of Chinese descent. It's a white male. That's who's getting hired. And when you look in the owner's booth, like I told y'all, Cowboys fans, look at the owner's booth. What do you see? You see a white owner, and you see everybody around him, and his circle is white. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. Like, they may have good intentions. I don't really think so, but they may. Let's say we take an argument, they may. But their circle, the people they go to dinner with, the people they have these meetings with, the people they talk football with, nonstop in that room, there's nobody of minority or person of color. Nobody. And so you can't be surprised when they hire somebody that's not a person of color, because that's what they used to for 40, 50, 60 years. Their entire circle is white. It is what it is. It's called what it is. So I'm not. Okay, Nathaniel Hackett. Let's talk about that for a second. Nathaniel Hackett has Aaron Rodgers, like you said, Aaron Rodgers. The play calls from the sideline come from Matt LaFleur. He's the head coach who calls the play, right?
Right.
Nathaniel Hackett does not call any plays and has one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. And somehow he has a job today as a head coach. Like, for the Denver Broncos, maybe the best job out there. We think about their weaponry, and all they need is a quarterback. Now, if they hire Nathaniel Hackett as a bypass to kind of get to Aaron Rodgers, then I will understand that. Because Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and they are a quarterback away from being an elite team. I see it. However, Eric Bieniemy's resume blows Nathaniel Hackett's resume out the water. You can't penalize Bieniemy for having Mahomes and for having Andy Reid when Hackett has Rodgers and LaFleur. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
So if you're gonna penalize one, you got to penalize the other.
Right.
Eric Bieniemy is a heck of a coach.
Right.
Like everybody will say, well, he has Mahomes, he has Kelsey, he has Tyreek Hill. He's been there since the beginning, since they drafted Mahomes.
There you go.
Somebody had to mold Mahomes and kind of make him what he is. Mahomes, of course, has the talent, the otherworld talent, and the work ethic to make himself better. But there have been a lot of players who had out-of-worldly talent, off the record. Jeff George, who could never get their head on straight, who could never find a coaching to make him great. You know, Brett Favre wasn't great until he left Atlanta and went to Green Bay. Steve Young wasn't great until he left Tampa Bay and went to San Francisco. You need good coaching to be great. It's not one in the same. You can't be great a lot of times without a good coach. John Elway had Dan Reeves. You need good coaching. Michael Jordan had the boy. You know what I'm saying? Phil Jackson. They got rid of Doug Collins and Phil Jackson. You need coaching. I mean, how good you are, you have to have good coaching. Andy Reid's one of the best. And Ed Reed is one of the best OCs in the game. You know? So at this point, they're surprised. I want him to stay there. I want him to stay in Kansas City. I want him to succeed Andy Reid, and then I want him to run roughshod over the entire league for the next 10 years with Mahomes and whomever. That's what I want to see personally. You know, so to me, that's a great get back. You know what I'm saying? Because, all right, show them what they're missing out on. You know, it's their fault they didn't hire you, and make them pay for it. Make them pay for it. Just like a great draft pick gets overlooked by a team, he has a chip on his shoulder, and so all those teams that didn't draft him, yeah, show them like Randy Moss. Randy Moss got bypassed by how many teams? Said, okay, all right. Start playing, balling out. Everybody, oh my God, I had no idea he was this good. Yeah, you did. He was the finalist for the Heisman Trophy. He's doing stupid numbers at Marshall. What are you talking about? He's 101. He's 6'5", like a 4'2". He's 101.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, like it is what it is at this level, man. So like I said, he had to be there from the beginning to mold this great quarterback. Mahomes has turned himself into the best quarterback in the league. They've been to back to back to back to back AFC championship games. You know how hard that is. That is ridiculous.
Almost impossible.
And I heard you make a great point about Mahomes' struggles this year. I want y'all to really think about this. Really think about this. Every quarterback who's come to the league has struggled some point, especially early on. Peyton Manning rookie year threw 20 interceptions. He was not the great Peyton Manning his rookie year. He was bad. But he played and he got the experience needed to make himself better. And he had good coaching. Patrick Mahomes never had a slump until this year. 4 years in, he had his first slump. Let me say it again. Patrick Mahomes did not have a slump for the first 3 years of his career. He's putting up Hall of Fame numbers since day one. Defenses changed last year's Super Bowl. They start playing too high safety. The cover two shell, whatever they start playing, and kept everything in front of them, took away his deep shots, especially the Tyreek Hill and everybody else. It surprised them. He had an offensive line. The Kansas City Chiefs, to their credit, have made changes. They bettered the offensive line. They drafted well, got some free agents in there, offensive line is much better than last year. And then, like you said, Andy Reid, Airbnb went to work to figure out how do we get our quarterback to play better against this cover 2 shell. And for the last 3 weeks, he has shown that, guess what? The slump is over. He's figured it out. So, watch out, world. It's over. He was already the best in the game before this, but now he's going to be even better because of good coaching and stick-to-the-ness. And so, it's all going to work itself out in the end. That's what I personally believe, as far as black coaches getting their headshots. You know what I'm saying? What you see now, the last 2 days, you got 2 black GMs who were hired. One in Chicago and the other one in Minnesota. We got to start moving to the front office. That's how it starts. You can't hire somebody unless someone is, aware enough to hire them. And so that'd be a good bridge between that and the owner. Because the owner doesn't know. You know, he's going to hire who he wants to hire, but maybe with the hire of these GMs who has a more diverse outlook on hiring practices, they can convince their owner about different guys to hire. Not just black coaches, but Latino coaches, Mexican coaches, whoever. Somebody else who knows their football. You see what I'm saying? That's all we want to see. We want to see the best candidate get the job and stop being overlooked. That's it. It's real simple. And it happens. It happened in football with players, and it happened to the black quarterback. They can't deny the black quarterback because he's too talented. And eventually, it's going to happen to the black coaches and the Latino coaches because they're too talented. Too many of them on the lower levels putting in work and getting better. So get prepared for that. And so, this conversation is what we're going to keep conversing about, especially for the next few weeks. I do think your boy, Leftwich, will get hired in Jacksonville. That's what I personally think. So maybe that's one to join Mike Tomlin as the lone black head coach, which is ridiculous. But, we'll be having this conversation for the next few years, man. But I think eventually the tide will turn.
It's got to. The tide has to turn because it is just an overwhelming tide that is happening. A couple of things that you said that I wanted to let you finish because you were doing your thing. But let's go back a little bit. Like Deebo Samuel should have all of the wins should count on his record, not on Jimmy Garoppolo's record. Because all I ever hear is, well, but Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo wins all these games. Jimmy Garoppolo keeps winning. No, Jimmy Garoppolo is on the team that wins. Deebo Samuel, the defense, the special teams, Robbie Gould, those guys win. Jimmy Garoppolo is just there for the ride, right? Like he might as well be the backup running back. If wins don't count for the backup running back, then it shouldn't count for Jimmy Garoppolo because he doesn't do anything to guarantee these wins. He doesn't do anything to win them games. He does a lot that loses them games. Like he was trying to give that game away last week. He was trying his best to give that game away last week, and then go ahead.
He threw like 3 balls. He threw like 3 waffle balls to the flat that should have been picked off for pick sixes.
Pick sixes.
Like 3 of them.
Pick sixes.
Like 3 of them. They should have been returned for pick sixes.
Yes,
they
should have been right. Like you say, he threw up 3 that should have been house calls. But again, what did a good head coach do? He said, "Okay, you know what? Let me put the ball in the hands of my best player." Now, normally, my best player is a quarterback, or my best player is a quarterback who can then get it to a receiver. They're a combination of my best players. Let me do that. Now it's like, no. Let me just give the ball to my all-world player, and I can appreciate Shanahan as much as I don't like him. I can appreciate him for saying, "Hey, you're a good player. We need to get the ball in your hands. I don't care what position you play. I'm gonna get you the ball. Like you're a receiver. Okay, can you play in the backfield? Great. Let's put the ball in your hands and let's put you to work because you are one of our best players." So just wanted to bring that part up that, those should actually count for Deebo Samuel, those wins, not for Garoppolo because he didn't earn them. Now, and like you were saying, yes, you make a great point, and yes, I want the same thing. We need more hiring in the upper management levels. We need more hiring in those front offices. We need more, like you said, GMs, president of football operations. We need more of those guys who are sitting in front of these meetings, who are sitting with these owners, who are telling them, "Hey, these guys are qualified. Hey, I know these guys don't necessarily look like you look, but these guys know what they're doing. Hey, you should give this guy an opportunity. Hey, this young guy right here is doing his thing. Hey, we should do this with this guy. Hey, we should do this with that guy. Like, don't give me any more of these owners just going out and saying, oh, well, I hired Matt Rule because he kind of looks like me. Well, first of all, if Matt Rule is the barometer of how you think you look, sir, you need to do something to change your appearance. You need a makeover. Because I don't know if you guys have seen Matt Rule, and if not, Google Matt Rule. If anybody said that you look like Matt Rule, trust me, they are making fun of you, and you should fight them. And
he's a new Matt Patricia, just sloppily.
Just sloppy for no reason.
Tuck your shirt in, man. Tuck your shirt in.
I mean, tuck your shirt in. And look at me. I'm scruffy right now. I'm growing the beard back out. But dude, either shave or line your beard up, man. Do something. You can't have this, I'm just scruffy and I sleep at the office all day. Them days are over, man. Don't nobody respect that. Them days are over. Scheme up some offensive genius. You sleeping in the office all day. Why you haven't come up with no new plays? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, they be killing me with this. Oh, this guy sleeps in the office. He works 20 hours. You work 20 hours and you still lose. What does that say? You work 20 hours and your team starts off hot and then they fizzle out every year. What does that say? Like, maybe you should take your butt home and go get you a nice home-cooked meal and a home-cooked meal and not be eating fast food all the time. Maybe that's what you should be doing. I'm just saying. And I'm not talking about the man's appearance. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that.
I am.
He is sloppy. I'm not denying that either. But what I am saying is, don't sit up here and say, yeah, I hired him because he kind of looks like me. He reminds me of me. That don't win football games, as we see right now. You see what happens when you hire somebody that looks like you and you own the team and you trying to win football games? You don't win football games. Owners don't GM, they don't coach, they don't play, they don't win football games. Hire guys who are competent, who know what they're doing.
Nobody encompasses that more than Mike McCarthy. Shout out to my Cowboy fans, man. Nobody encompasses that. I look the part. Like, if you look at coach the last 20, 30 years and what they want a coach to look like, oh, Mike McCarthy fits the bill, doesn't he? He just looks like he knows football.
Yes, he does.
He don't know it. He doesn't know a damn thing that's going on.
Not a damn thing. Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Y'all have been fooled. You have been bamboozled. And I guarantee this is going to happen, Cowboy fans. It's going to happen. He's going to come back next year. It's going to be the same thing as this year. Somehow y'all might make the playoffs or just miss the playoffs, but you will lose in the first round because he's a horrible game day coach. Horrible. One of the worst ever. And then he's going to get fired. And then Jerry Jones is going to try to get Sean Payton. Just understand what's going to happen. Sean Payton's probably your next head coach. Sean Payton did not leave the Saints for no reason. Sean Payton sees around the wall. He's like, Saints are going to suck. There's no quarterback. We're in cap hell. I'm out. I'm out of here. Drew Brees is not walking through that door.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
So
it's all over with. So he's on a contract for 3 more years, but Jerry Jones will buy him out.
Yes.
No problem.
So yes.
He'll buy him out.
Thank you for that, right? Because Variable Jr. came in the other day and he was like, "Oh, hey, Dad, Sean Payton stepped down. Can you believe that?" And I was like, "Yeah. I mean, without Drew Brees, that team is going to be horrible." And he had 1 year without Drew Brees, and he probably looked around and said, "Yep, I can't do this." And I couldn't, and I couldn't think of the destination for him. I actually thought, well, I was thinking this year, right? I was thinking short term, but that's a great point. You were thinking long term. I was thinking short term, and I was like, well, yeah, I think he used to work with the Giants, so the Giants job is opening, so maybe he goes to the Giants. But I didn't even think about that. He really cut his teeth with Parcells in Dallas. So that's the job. I didn't even think about that, but that was see, this is why we have you on, because I didn't think about that. I was thinking in the short term. I didn't think of the long term, but yes, that is a perfect point. He came in, he's like you said, Drew Brees ain't walking through that door. Byron Leftwich ain't walking through that door. Jameis Winston with a good knee ain't walking through that door. Aaron Brooks ain't walking through that door. Like, yeah, y'all are done, son. Y'all are done. And earlier we had a moment of silence for them for the paper bags. And I'm really sorry for them because of all the recycling right now. They won't have any paper bags. to actually go to the games. So people
It's
might
just so
actually have to
funny.
see them go to the games
Right.
and show their actual face. So I really feel
It's
bad for
so
Saints
funny.
fans.
I remember years ago, man, watching the Saints. I never see any line dancing, the little umbrellas, and everybody little parades doing that.
Never.
I saw none of that.
You know what you saw? You know what you saw?
None
Real
of
quick. You know what you saw? You saw A-Town stomping. Because we go down to New Orleans and we turn that place out. It was New Orleans. It was Atlanta West. That's what it was. That's what you saw back then.
No, I do remember this. I saw a lot of paper bags at NCC. I do remember that vividly. I do remember that.
Exactly.
Fans.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Exactly.
Aints around the paper bag.
Exactly.
Plenty of that.
Exactly. And now, another thing that you said, that we got to talk about, you was like, man, Cowboys fans, man, I'll tell you what, Cowboys fans at first, now, unlike the Aints, right? Unlike the Aints, the Cowboys fans, there is nothing you could say, there is nothing you could do that will ever knock them off their perch. They walk around with their whole chest out. They say it with their chest. They don't care. They don't care who you are. They say it with their chest. They are loud and proud. And for that, I got to give them props because they are like, yeah, that's all right. I mean, hey, that's okay. Hey, man, you see what happened. We got to the playoffs. Next year, we're going to come back and we're going to win it all. Blah, blah, blah. Like, man, they just don't. I appreciate them. Right? I appreciate them for everything that they are because they're like, yep, that's all right. We'll be back next year. And they just keep on going, man. Like, you cannot hurt them. You cannot hurt Cowboys fans. Hey, I appreciate them, man. I got to give them props. Seriously.
They're always very excited for a start of a new season. So it's like, hey, y'all know how it's going to end, right? Like,
they're excited for the start of the new season. When they make the playoffs, they're excited for the playoffs. And like you said, the rest of us sit back like, y'all know what's about to happen, right? Like, I know, I mean, hey, I've got almost 30 years of film. I've got almost 30 movies, okay? They keep putting out this sequel, and y'all keep watching it thinking it's a new movie, and I keep telling y'all, I say sequel, but it's a reboot. I keep telling y'all this is a reboot, and they are going script for script. This is a shot-by-shot reboot of what happened last time. This is not what happened back in 95. No, this is what happened from 96 on. It's that same thing all the time, but y'all keep thinking that it's going to be different, and you got to love them, man. You got to love them.
Like, have they won a playoff game in the last 30 years?
They've won.
I can't remember.
They've won. I mean, they've won so few playoff games that because they beat Detroit once, and Dax won a playoff game too, right?
I can't remember. I really don't know. I'm being totally honest here. I know they have not been to a conference championship.
They haven't.
They won a playoff game.
They haven't. No, yo. I just thought about this. And I'm sorry, Cowboys fans. I just thought about this. The Cincinnati Bengals have been to the conference championship more recently than the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I was just about to say that one too.
They lost the Patriots like 4 years ago.
Forget about that one. The Jaguars have been there in the 90, or I guess it was the 99 season. They were in the conference championship game. More recently than the Cowboys.
I'm not trying to rag on the Cowboys and Cowboy fans, but keeping it real, y'all obnoxious as hell. And just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh my gosh.
I understand it personally if you won some games that matter.
Gosh.
You know what I'm saying? But that hasn't happened in a very, very, very long time.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm over here crying.
But look, y'all got Dan Quinn back. So,
woo!
You got Dan Quinn back.
Well,
he's coming back.
At least with Quinn coming back, right? They can say, "Hey, he's our coordinator, not our head coach." So maybe that's where they draw, some optimism from Quinn coming back. Is like, hey, at least he's not the head coach calling the plays. At least he's just the defensive coordinator. We can have him out here being the defensive coordinator. We just can't have him being the head coach.
Yeah, I mean, he had like a zillion interviews. He interviewed with the Bears, the Jacksonville Jaguars. the Vikings. He's been interviewing for the last week. Well, he's got a lot of time on his hands, so he's been interviewing for the last week or two. You know what I'm saying? So he's been trying to. I guess they convinced him to come back. Whether Jerry opened the pocketbook a little bit more, or Michael Carter said, "Hey, I need you," they convinced him to come back, and he's back. So, like I said, they can run back. They have the talent. That's the thing about the Cowboys. Y'all have plenty of talent. You know what I'm saying? But it's something there that just you can't get over that. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if it's Jerry and it's Metlin, or you keep hiring head coaches that had no business being head coaches.
Ding, 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 ding. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Like a bunch of guys.
Right.
I mean, we had for years we heard about just how great Jason Garrett was. We heard about how great he was as a coordinator before he took that job. And just like his boy right now, Kellen Moore, the rest of those of us who are sitting back and watching and saying, oh, okay, well, here, the Cowboys are on TV every Sunday. I guess I'll watch one of their games. Let me see exactly what their offense does. Okay, well, they got a good quarterback. Man, that's a good throw by the quarterback. Well, I mean, okay, so that was a run. Okay, so that was a run. Okay, so now they did a play action and they threw it. Okay. Okay. I watched an entire Cowboys game. So wait a minute. The coordinator's good. I really didn't see anything where they were like great schemes. I didn't see anything where they got guys open. They just got great receivers. I didn't see anything where they, made the quarterback comfortable. They just have a great quarterback. I didn't see anything where they did all these creative things to get a running back going. They just have a great running back and a great O-line. Why are they talking about the coordinator so much? I don't get. Oh, young, white. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. My bad. I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm crazy for thinking that. Apparently, that's on me. That is my bad.
It don't matter, man. Who does all the heavy lifting on the field? You know who that is. It's look at the sidelines. Look in the luxury suite, the owner's booth. You see, I mean, there it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep letting Airbnb get these championships like he's probably want to get this year. Him and Andy Reid and Mahomes. And eventually, they'll learn. If you keep winning, they'll be like, you know what? Because Matt Nagy came from that same job. He got a head coaching job. He was Andy Reid's right-hand man for a little bit. He got a job. Doug Peterson was Andy Reid's right-hand man for a while. He got a job with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, for everybody not to get a job and to have all these credentials and, to be, leading an offense that has been lights out for 4 years in a row, hey, man, nothing else can be said. We know what's going on. So at this point, let them stay in Kansas City. If Andy Reid retires, what is it, next year, 3-4 years from now, whatever. Eric Bieniemy is next man in line. Pat Mahomes is really, really young. I think he just turned 26. You can own the league, staying in Kansas City for the next 10 years, however. And just let Mahomes be Mahomes, and who knows how. Because we all know this. We all figure this when Mahomes came in, won MVP, and won the Super Bowl next year. He's going to win MVP again at some point, and he's going to win more Super Bowls.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
It is.
Who will be the head coach?
It is.
Who will be the head coach? You know what I'm saying? So just
Yes.
stay where you at, Eric. Stay where you at, man, and then, you know what I'm saying? Kill him.
Kill him. So, every week.
Your boy Nathan Hackett went to Denver. He's now in your division.
Yes.
Make him pay for that.
Make
every
them
time
pay.
you see him.
Put up a
Every
fitty
time you
burger
see him,
on them
make
every
them pay.
single time. Every single time.
Every
So
time.
let's, before we transition, I went back and I did the research. And so before we transition, the Cincinnati Bengals this year, if they win the Super Bowl, that'll mean they've won 4 playoff games. The Dallas Cowboys, since winning the Super Bowl in 1995, have won 4 playoff games.
Okay, so it won 4. Okay. That's
Yeah.
more than I thought.
So yeah. So, but let that sink in. Since the 1995 season. No, I'm sorry, my bad. That's not true. I'm sorry. The year after that, they won 1 game. So since the 1996 season, what's that? 25 years, just about, almost 25 years. I think I can even get the date on this. Let's see. When is the date? That was in December the 28th. Okay, so that was over 25 years. Over 25 years ago, since December 28th of 1996, the Dallas Cowboys have won 4. Count them, 4 1, 2, 3, 4 playoff games. The Cincinnati Bengals, if they win the Super Bowl, will really, I guess, everybody, because both teams with the bye are gone. Yeah, so anybody who wins the Super Bowl, I just thought it would be funny because it's Cincinnati. But any team that wins the Super Bowl this year in this playoff run is going to have more wins in the playoffs than the Cowboys have in the last quarter century.
How about them Cowboys?
But again, hey, I respect them because they'll say, yeah, I know, with their whole chest. So I can't even be mad at them for that. But
look, we've been saying the same thing. Someone brings us the bad, the low lights. Yeah, we know.
Right.
Yeah, we know.
Right.
You
Right.
don't have to tell us. We are quite aware.
Right. We just take it. We just take it because I guess the same with them is like, all right, that's cool. Because once we finally get over that hump, woo wee. When we finally get over that hump, man.
You think I'm ignorant now, but I'm real ignorant.
Man.
I'm real ignorant.
I think I'm gonna have to take a week off from work just to recover.
Thanks, man. Y'all don't want to see me, boy. Y'all don't want to see me.
I'm gonna take a week off just to recover. I think I might buy like all kinds of Atlanta Falcon paraphernalia, and I might just go to New Orleans and then walk around the French Quarter just because. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that to myself, but I also feel like, when will I ever have that opportunity again? And as much as we go back and forth with the talking junk, it's really like all in good fun. So, I don't want to make it seem like they're crazy or anything. It's just like real fun distaste that we have for each other. But, like they don't really, what I'm saying, hate us like that. And we don't really hate them like that. We just like to go back and forth. But
no, I think I've been to a few Falcons Saints games. Yeah, we hate each other.
Man, you are a braver soul than I am, because I refuse to go to Falcon Saints games because I'm like, nope.
Hey, man, they are lit. Ask anybody who goes, they are lit.
Nope.
I sat right next to a Saints fan. The game that Debo. Remember you called that interception with Drew Brees in the end zone?
Yes.
Remember that great interception in the game?
Yes.
I was at that game.
Oh wow.
I was behind the end zone.
Oh wow.
And saw that thing almost right in front of me. And oh my gosh, the Saints fan, they loud talk, bro. They loud talk the whole game.
Oh yeah.
This man was so loud the entire game.
Oh yeah.
And he got so quiet.
They get quiet real quick. Real quick.
I gave him the business. Oh, you quiet now, huh? You want to say nothing, huh? You talking a while ago.
I was like, you went straight juvenile on him, huh?
Juvenile, huh? Man, I gave him the business. Hey, bro, you can't sit next to me.
Your body clean, huh? You dope jeans, huh? It ain't hard to see, huh?
Y'all go home out the win, huh? Well, I don't like it, huh?
You got to go back and put on that paper bag, huh?
Go home, huh? We'll see next year, huh?
Yeah, man. But so it sounds like you're not driving anymore. So before we let you go, let's talk about these Hawks, man. You came on again. You did what you normally do. You went scorched earth on the Hawks, and what did they do? They listened and they started playing better, man. I like it. I would say I like everything they're doing except for that Miami game. But I think Miami's just a bugaboo for these Atlanta Hawks, right? Yeah. This Miami team is so deep. They have so much veteran leadership. I mean, any team that has Jimmy Butler on it is a team that's got to grow up right away. And this team grows up right away. So this Miami team is a bugaboo for the Hawks. So I didn't necessarily like the way they played in that game, but they won. So I'm not going to say too much bad about it. But all these other games, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this team. I'm liking what I am seeing since we made the calculated decision on the show to have you go scorched earth on them boys. I'm liking what I'm seeing. The whole team is finally healthy, and it shows. Bogey in the last game was really the unsung hero of the game, and he kind of ignited the second team, which ignited the whole team, which got everybody going, and I'm looking forward to them keeping everything going.
Hey man, shouts out to the Hawks, man. Listen, the only reason we went scorched earth, man, because we know how good this team can be. That's the only reason. We have expectations. If we had zero expectations, we wouldn't have went scorched earth. We wouldn't have said a thing. We just would have said, okay, this team sucks. Whatever, it is what it is.
Right.
But no, they got plenty of talent. This team went to the conference finals last year.
Yeah.
And they can do it again. They can do it again. So they have a bona fide star, shot maker, carrier of a team in Trae Young. Bona fide.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of parts that fit around him. Like, that's how NBA teams that win are constructed. You have your star, and you got the ancillary parts around them that fit in well, and the overall team is brought up, and they play well together. Team chemistry, everything else. Now, I don't know the whole Cam Reddish thing was, you know, say eliminating somebody who didn't want to be there, therefore they're playing better. It could be. But, you know.
It could be.
It could be, you know what I'm saying? But I still don't like the trade because
Me neither.
I don't think you got fair value for the guy who I believe has all the potential in the world. I just don't believe he got fair value. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But it seems like this whole scorched earth thing seems to be working. Like, we did it with the Braves. Like it's not like we're timing it with like, oh yeah, they won a game or two and now we're gonna do. No, they were dreadful every time we went scorched earth. They were dreadful and on a losing streak.
Yep.
And then we go scorched earth, and then things miraculously turn around. Like, did it with the Braves.
Yep.
UGA was looking like horrible after the Alabama game.
Yep.
Just horrible. And we're like, oh, here it comes again. The same Georgia team we've seen for the last 10 years, where they're bugaboo. They get a big game, they can't close the deal, and it's against Alabama, like it always is. Alabama, someone super good in the SEC. And they came back, and they won 2 strong playoff games and won the national championship for the first time in 41 years. So this scorched earth thing, man, I'm starting to believe in it. I didn't believe it at first, but I'm kind of starting to believe in it now. And so the Hawks, I think won like 5 in a row since.
Yes, sir.
5 in a row?
Yep, 5 in a row.
That's great. That is crazy. Hopefully it continues. Hopefully they found the chemistry they were missing. Because all it is, man, like we talked about, you can't expect to just play these guys and the other team's not bringing. They know who you are now. They know how good you are now.
Right.
So they're going to bring it every night. You got to bring that same level of intensity and team chemistry and fight. Like you said, Miami's a bugaboo because Miami can fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, get a fight with somebody when you were young, but man, this dude can really fight. Like,
right.
You got to bring it.
Right. He keeps going. Like, I thought we were done. Dang.
Yeah, I thought we were done 2 minutes ago.
Why am I on the ground right now? Why is he rubbing my face in the mud? I thought we were done.
They started the playground shit. Now we're on the basketball court. What's going on? They're fighting. Like, that's Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, they tough like that. So you got to bring it. So hopefully now we're seeing the true Hawks team that we all envisioned at the beginning part of the season. I know we've been a 12th seed for a long time, but my guess is we're going to find ourselves back. There's a lot of games between the 12th seed and get into the playoffs.
Nope.
So, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's only like
They're on
2
their
games
way.
that separate the 12th and the 8th, which is the Celtics who we play tonight. So we can make up a full game on them tonight. But again, it's only 2 games to separate them. So, you know, I think they're in a really good position to make their run. Like you said, everybody's healthy now. So now is the time that teams start to make their ascent, right? Healthy team, you got your full team, and like you said, you got your chemistry going. And you know, I'm on the same boat as you. I didn't want to get rid of Reddish because I saw so much potential in Reddish. The only good part that has come out of that now is that in New York, he's not really getting a lot of time. So at least it hasn't come back to bite us yet. But hey, the jury is still out. It's only been a few games. I don't necessarily want to, feel like, oh, okay, great, we dodged a bullet when that may not be the case. Now, one last thing, because again, I know you're at work. One last thing. What have you heard these trade rumors that we were going to go and get Ben Simmons, but it all fell apart? So it looks like what we were going to, what we offered, or what was offered to us. I don't know who did what. I didn't get a chance to really get an in-depth read on it. I just saw the headlines, and I was like, oh, let's talk about this. It looks like we were going to get Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, and then we would have to trade away John Collins, Danilo Gallinari, and Bogey. So personally, and I said this earlier, personally, I wasn't necessarily a fan of that because I don't want to get rid of Bogey and Gallinari, right? Like they're what's holding our bench together right now. I don't mind getting Tobias Harris. I think Tobias Harris would probably be the better player who would fit better with the Hawks in this deal because, again, Ben Simmons, just based on athleticism, he's going to be able to get you 28 and 8. He can do that in his sleep, but he's not somebody we can rely on, especially when these playoffs come around. But Harris is a guy who can hit a wide open jumper. Harris is a guy who has shown recently that he can actually get his own shot. And Harris is a guy who plays competent enough defense. So I don't mind the Harris portion of it, but giving up Gallinari and Bogey, I'm glad we didn't do it, because I think that would have completely depleted our bench. That's kind of thin anyway.
Why do people want Ben Simmons? I'm trying to figure this out.
That's another good question. That's another good question.
Like, zero. Like, the player he is, okay, but shooting is fundamental to basketball. You have to shoot the basketball. Like, you're at the highest level of professional basketball, and you won't shoot, can't shoot, whatever the excuse is. That's integral. It's like a quarterback that can't pass.
Right. So it's like Tim Tebow. It's like Tim Tebow. Ain't nobody trying to make trades for no Tim Tebow.
No. And the thing is, in this whole episode with 76ers management, why would I want that on my team? If you can quit on them, you can quit on me too. Like, I want no parts of Ben Simmons. Zero. He's not that good, so I sacrifice whoever. And don't let the 76ers bamboozle you into thinking his value is that high, because it's not. They have zero leverage to any trade they try to make with anybody, because his attitude and because his lack of not being there. So don't fall for it. You don't have to give up no Bogey. You don't have to give up Collins. I'll give you Kevin Knox. And you be happy.
That's what I was thinking. Like, why not put Kevin Knox in this trade? Like, take that off of our hands. Now, again, I know I said that'd be the last one, but you just brought up something. I got one more question. I promise I'll let you go. I know you got to get to work. Speaking of Ben Simmons, what would you do in Ben Simmons' role? What would you do in Philadelphia's role, right? Would you not say to him, look, man, I know you're mad, right? I know how things look, but we need you to get on this floor, or else you're not going to leave, right? You'll be here forever. We can't move you if people don't see that you are willing to play. We can't move you if people don't see that you're willing to play and you improved your jump shot. Man, give us 10 games. Go out there and ball out, and we can get you out of here. But you sitting at home, that means you're going to be sitting at home for until you become a free agent, and then somebody signs you to a veteran minimum, bro. Like, what are you doing? What would you do? Like, is that not his only move right now? Like, is he just going to miss, like, another, 3 years of basketball?
Dude, I mean, there's nothing you really can do. As a general manager, like, you want to not trade him, not play him, but he's like $196 million contract, something ridiculous. And so he's killing your cap. And so you have to play him, or you have to get value for him somehow, some way. So that's why they play hardball with the value, because their contract is a monster. But I'm not sure what you can do. I think your idea is probably the best idea, because you have to play some games, get his value up, and then you can trade him. That's it. Someone has to go sit down with him and explain that to him. Like, this is what we have to do. You want to get out of Philadelphia? We want you out of Philadelphia as well. This is what we have to do. You have to play some games, get your value up, then we get you out of here. If both sides can get on that same accord, then they can make something happen. But if not, they can eat that contract, man. I don't think anybody's going to trade for him, personally.
Dang. Yep. That is interesting. And this is a developing story that we're going to follow. Like, I mean, honestly, whenever I hear dudes say they're going to sit out, I'm always like, yeah, okay. You'll sit out until them checks stop coming in, right? You'll sit out until them games start being played, because you guys love basketball. But this is a crazy situation where a dude is just refusing to play. And again, I just thought this would go to, this would go through training camp. This may go through the first week, but they all cave and they all come back. But, I mean, I guess in a way, shout out to Ben Simmons for sticking by his guns, standing on whatever principle you think you're going to stand on. I don't know your situation, so I'm not going to judge that. But I do say, hey, I don't really know what leg you have to stand on if you're showing teams that you're not going to play. The best thing you can do is show teams, hey, I'll play. Look how well I play. Get me out of Philly. And some dumb GM, because there are plenty of dumb GMs out there. Some dumb GM is going to say, I can make him better. Hey, coach, you think you can make him better? No, I don't think so. Who cares? We're going to make him better. That talent, we can win a championship, and some dumb GM will pick him up.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sacramento's already fired Vlad Divac, so that dumb GM was already gone.
Oh damn! I was thinking. That was the first place on my mind.
That's
You
the
know,
first
Sacramento
thing
does
they go,
all
right?
kinds of dumb stuff.
He's the one that picked the boy Marvin.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Marvin. Hit that dude over Luka Doncic and Trae Young.
Over Luka and Trae. Over Luka and Trae.
6.7 points per game, 5 rebounds.
Over the only two all-stars in this draft class. Over the only two guys who have led their team to the playoffs in this draft class. Not been in the playoffs, because I know Ayton's been there, but he ain't led nobody there. The only two guys that have led their teams to the playoffs in this draft class.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, I mean, you know, at that draft, I'm on record. I wanted Luka, and I wanted Trae, and I'm happy with what the Hawks did on today's day. I'm happy with the Hawks did. Trae has proven himself to be even better than I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be pretty good. I really did, but he's even better than I thought he was going to be. And shout out to Trae Young for making an all-star team yesterday. He's an all-star starter.
Shout out. Oh, my gosh. Oh.
Shout out to Trae Young.
Shout out to Trae, baby.
Shout that out from the Raptors. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Trae.
He starts the all-star game in Cleveland, February, whatever. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Trae. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Great player, man.
Kind of like you said, I thought the same thing. I thought it would take a couple of years, actually. I didn't think we get great player Trae in the very first year. Those first few games were indicative of what I thought we'd see in year 1 and 2. And then I thought year 3 would be where he turned it on. I didn't think that we see, you know, great Trae in the second half of year 1, and then the Trae Young that we all have come to know and love since then. So yeah, shout out to the Atlanta Hawks for doing their thing on that draft, and shout out to the Sacramento Kings for being the Sacramento Kings in every draft. We appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Take it back to your Ben Simmons company real quick, man. Like a team, I don't see it. Like everybody saw how bad he played in the playoff series against the Hawks, and especially that game 7, whatever it was, where he had the open layup and he chose to pass it late in the fourth quarter. Like what are we doing? It's a mental thing with him now. Like, is he mentally ready to play basketball?
Right.
And so for anyone to take on $196 million contract, you got to take on everything with Ben Simmons. You got to take on his shooting inadequacies. You got to take on his mental mind frame. Where is he mentally? You take all that on. His attitude. Like, is he ready to play now? Can he play today? Is he conditioned to play NBA basketball? Like, where is he? No one knows. And so, you know, like, if I'm a GM, my job's on the line. You know, come on, think about it. You're a GM and you trade for Ben Simmons, you're literally saying, I believe in this guy, because if I don't, if he fails, I'm fired.
Yeah,
like,
that's
what
true.
GM is going to take that chance?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
For Ben Simmons?
Right.
No.
You know, so it's funny when I'm sitting back here, you know, I'm playing 2K GM, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it for Ben Simmons. But you're right. Like, if a GM does say, okay, cool, we're going to go get Ben Simmons, then the GM is basically saying that I believe in Ben Simmons so much, I'm willing to put my job on the line. And we all know, like I've said, we all know that one of the best jobs in all the world is being a sports GM, because you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be good. You just have to make a couple of decisions, make sure the owner's happy, and then you can continue to do whatever you do and live your best life. So yes, you are absolutely right. If you are a GM and you say, hey, I'm going to risk it all for Ben Simmons, then either you're Pop, you know what I'm saying, and you got all the clout in the world, you're Steve Kerr, and you got all the potential, and you got all the pieces, you could put them in there and then trade them away. You know, you've got that. But if you're anybody else in this NBA landscape, then either you're cool with the Simmons family and you know that he'll play hard for you, or you are just like the biggest riverboat gambler I've ever seen. And you know, it was nice knowing you at that job. Hopefully you get another job, and you know, deuces. Like, I don't know what you were thinking.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's a risky proposition to take on Ben Simmons. I don't see it happening for anybody. I just don't. You know, and that deal you laid out, Bert Bogie, Jay Collins, and whoever else for Ben Simmons, no, that's a crappy deal. Whoever leaked that, no, you keep that deal. That's disgusting. The audacity. stocks, and you were like,
and you will give us both Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons, and we'll take all that. We'll take all that money off of your cap. That's what we'll do.
And your first round pick for next year.
And your first round pick, exactly. Then we'll take all that money off your cap, because that's another thing. Like you said, we taking money off your cap.
Yeah,
that's another thing we doing.
A lot of it.
Yes, a lot of it, and a lot of years too, man. Forget about the money. The money is, it's monopoly money. You're playing with billionaires' money. It's them years, dog. Like that money's gonna be on your books for a long time.
Let me tell you something. Philadelphia wishes they could do that contract all over again. They would not do that contract today if they had to. It's amazing. Like you see it happening in real life. Like they about to give Ben Simmons a $196 million contract. Really? He can't shoot. This is my thinking. 2 years ago? Like he can't shoot. Maybe he plans on shooting soon, but he can't shoot. He got a max deal. Like we always talk about, man. General managing is just do whatever you want. Because it's not smart guys who general managers. Because I'm not offering that contract to Ben Simmons. If I'm the Simmons general manager, I'm not doing it. Everybody be mad at me. But he's not worth it. And come to pass, he's not worth it. Now they're stuck in the boat they're stuck in when they can't trade him or get rid of him. But we'll get another shout out too. Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
Joel Embiid is playing out of his mind.
And I know they want to give it to everybody, but I mean he's the MVP, right?
He's
the MVP.
Runaway MVP of this.
Yes.
I know Steph had it early.
Yeah.
So go look at Joel Embiid's game log for the last 10 to 15 games.
My gosh.
It's ridiculous.
My gosh.
It's 30, 35, it's 41, it's 50. And like 10 boards, 8 assists. He's carrying that team by himself.
That's what and that's where I'm going. He's carrying that team by himself. He had a game, and we all know it. He had a game. He scored 50 points in 27 minutes. He is a big man. He is not a jump shooter. He is a big man. Now, and again, all of you like, I watch basketball a little bit. I only, I don't really know a lot about sports. Not trying to condescend to you at all, but I really want you to think about this. In 27 minutes, he scored 50 points. He scored almost 2 points for every minute he was on the floor. That is absurd. We do not we don't. I feel like we made a lot about it, but we don't make enough about that, especially as a big man. Like he's scoring points. He's being efficient. He's you can tell he's lost some weight. So now he's got his conditioning down. He's staying healthy. He's carrying his team. They've got nothing else. They built around Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons is not there. Like he's got to be the MVP, right? Like I feel like, we skipped over him last year, and yeah, I feel like we got to give it to him. Not even as a makeup MVP. We got to give it to him because again, he's the MVP.
He is. Like the front runner by every metric. He's the MVP of the season right now today. It's ridiculous. They do this without Ben Simmons. All the Ben Simmons turmoil. Think about it. If they were losing, you know how many questions they get every press conference about Ben Simmons?
Yep.
When's he coming back? This team needs Ben Simmons to be competitive. By him playing so well and carrying his team, playing at the MVP level, there are no questions about that. None.
Right.
No one's claiming for Ben Simmons to come back, which is ridiculous if you think about it.
Yeah.
The man has like a humongous contract. The team's kind of built around him. But Joel Embiid is doing such a good job of carrying the team. No one is asking for Ben Simmons to come back.
Not only are they not asking for him to come back,
about that.
Not only are they not asking for him to come back, they trying to get rid of him. and no one's batting the eyelash. No one's saying, hey, man, you tanked so long. This was the first round pick that you got. This is the number 1 overall pick that you've been looking for. And then you got him and you got these guys together and they made the playoffs the last few years and you got Doc Rivers. How are you going to get rid of him? We're all saying, oh, yeah, no, you need to get rid of Ben Simmons. You need to get rid of him. Where can you send him? Where can you get some help for Joel Embiid? Where can you get some help for him? Right? Like, that's what we're all saying right now. So, again, like you said, big shout out to Joel Embiid, who is the Morning Rise's MVP. So we're going to send him the MVP trophy because we vote for MVPs around here too. And according to this show, he's a back-to-back MVP.
I didn't know that. Okay, let's do.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, cool. All right, brother, man. I go ahead and clock in. You know what I'm saying? Folks looking at me crazy. Like, what you doing right now? You know, just go ahead and earn my money right here.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you having you on the extended version of having you on today. Hopefully we didn't get you in too much trouble at the job, but we had to get you in and talk these sports.
We had to do it. We had to do it, man. Always go to play sports, brother, as you always know. Thank y'all for having me, man. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this weekend. Stay the games, NFL, NBA, golf, whatever. Enjoy your sports this weekend, everybody. Have a wonderful week. A wonderful weekend.
All right, brother. Same to you. Thank you again so much for joining us as always on Friday, and we will talk to you next weekend. Oh, hey, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, picks. Need your picks for this weekend. Need your picks.
I got Kansas City. Even though I love those Bengals, I got Kansas City, and I think I'm going Rams. Like the Jimmy Garoppolo story has to end sometime.
Okay.
I think it ends this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Rams.
Gotcha. So I'm doing kind of like you. I love those Bengals. I think it's not their time just yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they win, but I don't think they will. So I'm going Kansas City, and I think I'm going 49ers. I think we're going to have a rematch of Kansas City and the Niners, and well, I'll give you guys my Super Bowl pick when it comes to that. But yeah, I think I'm going Kansas City Niners. I think that once again the teacher is going to beat the student once again in the championship game.
That's a good pick because San Francisco is 6-0 against the Rams in their last 6 games.
Well, there you go.
Shanahan does have the book on McVay, but you know, I think it's his time. I think Matthew Stafford. I think it's his time. He was he was in prison over there in Detroit, but I think he's free now, and you know, his game is kind of flourishing at the right time. He had a great game last week.
He did.
I give him credit for that game.
He did.
Great game. That Tom Brady comeback, which you all knew was going to happen in the second half, started happening. He didn't bat an eyelash.
Yeah,
he delivered when it mattered. So I think he builds on that for this upcoming game and plays well, and then move on to the Super Bowl.
All right, brother. Well, again, man, thank you as always so much for joining us today. Thank you again for the extended time. Please tell your boss, my bad. We'll try not to keep you on this long next time, but who knows? We may have some bad head coaching hirings that we need to talk about later on. So we may keep you just a little bit longer next time.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good, man. Have a good one. Take care.
All right. You too, bro. All right, my people. That was Will right there with us on the Morning Rise with Variable Y on 106liveradio.com, man. You guys know when me and Will get to talking these sports, man, we will never stop. And we've missed a lot of our music block right here. And I know you guys come here to hear our music, but again, guys, YouTube does not YouTube. Facebook does not like us to play a lot of music, a lot of long music all the time. So I can't really play all the songs that I would normally play because then they kick us off. So, but don't worry, I'm going to get us to get some songs on here when I find one. Okay. I'm going to get some songs on here. We're going to play a song right now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss all the things that we talked about for sports right here on the Morning Rise with the Variable Y on 106liveradio.com, where excitement meets diversity 24/7.
Scooch, Strop Top, Wizard, yeah. Hey, you get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a in it. Lil' mama and she gon' for bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping the dope in the stash. In Italy, got too far, they DM me. Draw at the top when it's cold, but you feel the heat. Be real with me, keep it 100, just be real with me. Eat it up like it's a feast. They say the on fleek.
Feel on me, ice on my neck, baby, chill with me. That fuck in the back, don't say nothing, the a kill for me. Back as I count in my sleep, on fleek. 100K spit on that patty for lead. Know my dog in my tree. Hop out the frog and leap. I put them bricks in the fender. My bitch walk around like she Chris Jenner. I used to break in the Emma, then take out running like the game of Temple. It's simple, I play with a mantle. Mama said she saw me on Jimmy Kimmel. Canada, cause I'm a money symbol. Walking with the rats, I'm looking crippled. Go nap, then I tip 'em. A nickel for me to take pictures. Not from LA, but I clip 'em. Double my cup or a triple. Box on my body, no biblical. I'm not your average or typical. Look at my wrist and it's critical. Hold it up, dropping the temperature. I get that bag on the regular. I got a bag on my cellular. Back in the bag of the vegetables. Bag of them cookies, it's medical. Etc. This federal. I take off landing on Nebula. As an that's when it ends on my schedule.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a in it. Lil' mama and she gon' for bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping the dope in the stash. In Italy, got too far, they DM me. Draw at the top when it's cold, but you feel the heat. Be real with me, keep it 100, just be real with me. Eat it up like it's a feast. They say that on fleek.
I know that these get sick of me. They chasing my neck cause a meal a piece. I don't even like to freestyle for free. I put in the key and I ride the beat. I don't even come out the house for free. I pay a to drive for me. Jay-Z didn't even co-sign for me. I do what I want cause I'm signed to me. I get the bag. They get the bag, have to cut it in half. Stop the comparing, y'all making me laugh. Need to rehab, I'm addicted to cash. Convertible walk, convertible top. My got a vertical, look at that hop. And it jump out the pot. Came out the jail and went straight to the top. Take it easy, baby. Middle of summer, I'm freezing, baby. Don't leave me, baby. Just drop to your knees and please me, baby. I'm fascinated. Too so fine that congratulations. She me so good that I graduated. They had to hate it. I'm with them, they plastic, baby. A trapper, baby. I rap what I own on my masters, baby. It's tragic, baby. I pull up in the traffic, baby. A savage, baby. I'm killing these close casket, baby.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a in it. Lil' mama and she gon' for bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping the dope in the stash. In Italy, got too far, they DM me. Draw at the top when it's cold, but you feel the heat. Be real with me, keep it 100, just be real with me. Eat it up like it's a feast. They say that on fleek, yup.
This is 106 R&B and Throwbacks. Find us on all app stores and like us on Facebook. 106liveradio.com.
That's right. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. We're live on there. You might as well follow us right here on The Morning Rise with Variable Y, 106liveradio.com. And we are talking sports, man. Just had a lively, just amazing discussion with my man Will for a whole hour. Me and him went a whole hour talking sports. We don't normally get that because he's got to go to work or, he's got to take care of the babies. Them babies get sick, man. And hey, especially nowadays. So, we definitely don't have a problem with that at all. But we appreciate him actually coming on for a whole hour, man. We went through a lot, talked about a lot of good things, and a couple of people in the chat talked about some good things too. So I'm just going to bring up a couple of these comments because I found some of them kind of funny, and I wanted to bring it up and see what you guys thought about what we talked about. So we talked about the Hawks, we talked about the head coaching hiring, and we are bringing up some of the things that we talked about here. So my man Trey said Cam Reddish is Josh Smith 2.0. Okay, so he put that up there, and I'm just holding comment because I want you guys to see what he had said. Just kidding. Laugh out loud. No, you're not. You weren't kidding about that. But you were not kidding about that. But that's an interesting take. I see where you're coming from with that. I don't necessarily know if I would say that, but I do see where you're coming from with that. A guy who had all this potential, this untapped potential, a guy we drafted, and a guy we almost didn't want to see go. A guy who probably split the fan base right down the middle. Although I don't necessarily know if Cam splits the fan base because we haven't seen it yet from Cam. But like I said earlier, man, so far the trade for Cam, trading away Cam, I should say, has not come back to bite us, where. So I guess all's well that ends well on that one, at least right now. We also talked about the head coaching hiring or the lack of black head coaches being hired right now. There are still jobs that are available still that are not filled. There are still 7 jobs that are available right now. And we talked about it. The Vikings. I think the Vikings have a good, not great quarterback. I say average, really. I don't think he's above average. Again, I think he's an average quarterback. I think if all else fails, if all of his receivers got hurt, he had no running back, he would be unmitigated garbage. And but he also has a very high price tag. So that's one thing you have to look at when you're looking at that situation. The Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have a quarterback. He all right. I don't know if he's great. I don't even know if he's good. I know that he's trying to become something. I still don't think we have enough film on him to know if he's good or not, to be honest with you. This is just year 2 for him. Now, of course, Joe Burrow is shout out to Sweet Jones on on the NFL Network, who calls him Joe Burrow. Pick that up. Joe Burrow has made his ascent to the mainstream. Sorry about that, guys. Thought I took care of that. My bad. Thought he's made his ascent to becoming that next level quarterback, and Tua Tagovailoa has not done the same thing yet. But again, it's only year 2, and he's really been injury prone throughout these first 2 years. So we'll see what happens to him. The Giants are up. They are needing to hire a head coach. Excuse me. They have no quarterback. The best player is hurt all the time. This may be one of the worst jobs out there right now, just to be honest with you. Them and the Aints. And all jokes aside about the Aints are riddled with injuries. They have no quarterback. We don't know how Jameis is going to come back from the knee injury. You're losing an offensive genius when it comes to Sean Payton. So, who made Jameis look good. And it's not like Jameis hasn't looked good before, but who made Jameis look good and cut down on the turnovers. That's really Jameis's problem, is cutting down on the turnovers. Made Jameis cut down on the turnovers in the limited amount of games that he played in. So now we see him there, but we don't know what he's going to come back to be. So don't know about that. So I think those are 2 bad jobs right there. Jacksonville is an intriguing job. Jacksonville has a pretty young, pretty vibrant offense. You saw it in that last game against the Colts. You saw it where Matt Eberflus somehow didn't get himself fired, but got himself hired, got himself a job when he really shouldn't have, because boy, he stinks. But that's okay. Somehow he was able to get himself a job. And so you saw that the Jacksonville offense is actually pretty good. They can kind of be a world beater if everything comes together. So we'll see next year, Trevor Lawrence. Is that going to be the year of Trevor Lawrence? Are we going to get a coordinator to go in there or a former head coach to go in there and say, hey, this might actually be something that I can make come together. This might be something I can turn this whole situation around, right? I believe in myself enough so that I know I can make that kid look good. He's got all the tools. I just need to go in there and just polish him off a little bit. That sounded weird. I just need to go in there and make him look better, and he can become a great quarterback. The Texans need a coach. We don't know what the Deshaun Watson situation is going to be. And that's kind of a little bit scary to me. I feel like if he were going to come back, he would have come back by now. But the fact that he hasn't means that there may be more to this story, to his story, than we're letting on. And I think I would stay away from that job with a 10-foot pole unless they draft a quarterback. But shout out to my man Trey, who's loving his comparison to Cam Reddish and Josh Smith. Okay, shout out to my man Trey, who was saying, yeah, I love the comparison. I wish I could hear what you said. All I was saying was, like, I don't get it, but we haven't had enough tape on Cam Reddish to see if he's like Josh Smith, and Cam Reddish doesn't split the fan base down the middle like Josh Smith did. But you know, both of those guys we saw a lot of potential in. I see way more potential in Cam than I did see in Jay Smooth. Not because, you know, Smooth didn't have it. It's just that, you know, there were a couple of things he needed to work on. You know, he needed to work on dribbling. He needed to work on less turnovers. You need to work on shot selection. You know, just a couple of things that he had a lot of time to work on, but he didn't. So we'll see about that. And like I was saying, back to the head coaching jobs. And then lastly, the Raiders, their job is open. Their job's been open since John Gruden got fired. Now, unfortunately, John Gruden got fired just because of racist emails and homophobic emails, when he should have gotten fired because he's just not a good head coach. He hasn't been good since he left Oakland when they were the Raiders, and he came back to the Raiders and they still weren't good. And nobody wants to admit that because John Gruden has somehow become the new John Madden. But guess what? John Madden wasn't that good either. Yes, I said it. John Madden won back in, you know, the days when, you know, guys had the one bar on their helmets, right? Yeah, he has a great, you know, all-time winning percentage. Okay, la-de-da. That's because he only coached for 10 years. I mean, and again, name me one thing that's a John Maddenism when it comes to football. I'll wait. Besides the game, I'll wait. Besides the video game, I should say. I'll wait. If it wasn't for the video game, if it wasn't for the telestrating, we wouldn't know who John Madden is. Again, we treat him just like you know, we treat him just like you know, I don't know. We treat him like Don Shula. Hell, we give way less respect to Don Shula. Don Shula is the winningest head coach in NFL history. And we give way less respect to him than we do to John Madden because of the video game. I said it. You heard it here first. All right, people. So about that job, I didn't even think about that. About that job, again, that's a bad job. Derek Carr has fooled all of you into thinking that he's a good quarterback. Derek Carr comes out here with this, you know, oh shucks, I'm just a guy trying to win games. Oh shucks, it only matters what my teammates think of me. He comes out here with all this rah-rah stuff, and you guys think he's a great quarterback. But if you actually look at him play, you'll know that he sucks as a quarterback. I said it. It had to be said. He sucks. Boom. Fight me. I don't care. All right, guys. We'll be back. Let's get back and we'll wrap this puppy up right here on the Morning Rise of the Variable Y on 106liveradio.com, where excitement meets diversity 24/7.
Broadcasting live from Atlanta while serving the entire globe. It's the fastest growing radio on the web. It's 106liveradio.com.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
In the U.S. today, 2.7 million people have glaucoma. So what is glaucoma, and am I at risk? Glaucoma is a group of diseases that can damage the optic nerve and, if left untreated, can lead to vision loss and blindness. This genetic disease can affect anyone of African or Mexican descent 40 years of age and older. So make sure to schedule a comprehensive dilated eye exam every 1 to 2 years to combat this disease. And keep yourself protected today.
This message is sponsored by the Bienvenido Project in the Dominican Republic. To donate, please visit thebienvenidoproject.com. That again is thebienvenidoproject.com.
Download the free 106 Live Radio app where you can catch shows such as The Upper Room Sundays from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, The Male Perspective every second and fourth Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m., The Unspeakable Joy Conference every first and third Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m., The Morning Rise weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m., The Tanasha Gray Show weekdays from 10 to 2 p.m., The Epic Marriage Celebration Wednesdays from 10 to 2 p.m., The C. Harper Show Wednesday and Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m., Executive Producer Anthony Denard presents The Chef's Zone Wednesday and Friday from 2 to 4 p.m., Foreign Matters Saturdays from 12 to 2 p.m., and Cece's World Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Catch out channels 106 Inspiration, 106 R&B and Throwbacks, and the Epic Radio channel. Remember, download the app to bridge the gap at 106liveradio.com.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right. They can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing! Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
I was in the middle. My mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking of changing your marketing strategy? 106 Live Radio is the solution you need to promote your goods and services. We are offering special advertising rates on our fast-growing radio network. We can also help you create an audio commercial or a website banner that fits your business needs. It is just that simple. Visit our website at 106liveradio.com for details.
Bringing you the best shows in music 24/7 on your favorite radio. It's 106liveradio.com.
No sweet. No switch.
So I figure we come back and bring the video back before I actually go into the not shout out music. And I thought that was a good way to start it off. So that's why I did it like that. Because we do have just one major not shout out. We don't have a lot of not shout outs today. Because there haven't really been too many people doing things to earn not shout outs, at least in our world, right? Like in the real world, yes, there are a bunch of despicable people out there, but we'll steer clear of the despicable, right? We'll steer clear of that, and we'll just do our thing to make just a little bit of light of what's going on out here with the world, and a little bit of light of these people out here acting a fool and getting the not shout out. So today, who we're going to give a not shout out to, and there's time to turn this around. Obviously, there are 7 opportunities to turn this around, but we are giving a not shout out to the NFL as a whole. Once again, we've got the coaching carousel that has come and gone, and we've got the head coaches who are not getting a shot, the guys who are not getting looked at, the coordinators who are not getting looked at, the defensive coordinators who are not getting looked at, the former head coaches who are not getting looked at. What do they all have in common? That right there. And it's getting to the point where I don't even think they're being subtle about it anymore, which is really what's disheartening and really what kind of gets on my nerves. So the NFL, you deserve a not shout out, and it won't start changing until we make it change. But Will came up with a great point. If guys like Eric Bieniemy, even Byron Leftwich, stay where you at. If they're not going to give you a job, stay where you at. Let that old coach retire, and then you come in there and you set the world on fire doing the great job that you do. So not shout out to the NFL. Do better, and we would appreciate it if you did everything in your power to make it right, because you're doing wrong. We need you to make it right. Not a shout out to the NFL right here on the Morning Rise. And now, time for our real shout outs. All right, people. It has been a heck of a week. We've had some great guests on this week, y'all. And I just want to give them shout outs as well. Shout out to our great guests. Shout out to Jaquise Jennings of New Life.1. You can find her on Instagram at New Life. That's N-U. Excuse me. I said New Life. My bad. You need to turn over a new leaf. New Leaf. NewLeaf.1. The number 1 on Instagram. On Instagram. And shout out to my man Terrell Valerie. You can find him at Prince.tax, and Prince is spelled different. Prince is spelled PRXNCE.tax, TAX on Instagram. Go to New Leaf. She'll get your CBD right. Go to Terrell. Prince.tax. He'll get your taxes, your credit, your estate planning. He'll get all that stuff right for you. All right, so now let's do our regular shout out. Shout out to Mom and Papa Variable. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to Brother and Sister Variable. Thank you guys. Shout out to my brother who is a Cowboys fan, who I did talk about, and they always say it with their chest. Shout out to all the people who are listening. Shout out to Will. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Miss Janine. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Brandon, Dion, always live in Atlanta. Who else? Who else did I miss? Trey, Ben, Sakita. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Thank you all. What else we got? Oh, we got Tanasha Gray Show, which is coming up next. She is in the middle of her 40-day wellness journey. Join her for that. And then later on from 4 to 6, we got the C. Harper Show with Dr. C. Harper, where she always harps on purpose. It's going to be a great weekend, people. Enjoy these games. Be safe. Be safe out there. Bundle up. It's going to be cold. Love you guys. Love yourself and respect yourself for 2 reasons. Number 1, you deserve it. Number 2, when you love and respect yourself, you love and respect others. I'm gone. Have a great weekend. Peace.